Hey, everybody. Pretty terrible news about a guy who's a child molester caught in a sex thing in Vegas. That's great. Apparently, the FBI and local Vegas authorities did a terrific job. They captured 8 guys, including a guy who was ironically at a cybersecurity conference in Las Vegas. So that guy, it turns out, works for the Israeli Cyber Directorate, and his name is Tom Artyom Alexandrovich. He's a very important employee there. He actually won an Israeli Defense Prize. He's one of the creators of what they call Cyberdome. So he was here at a conference and decided, I guess, on his off time to molest American children. And good news, he was caught and arrested for that. I mean, that is pretty devastating. Um, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. American authorities, wonderful. You know where this is going. No, he was released back to Israel. Why? I mean, this is a very serious child sex ring. And he was trying to lure, according to the authorities, young kids to meet him so he could sexually assault them. I don't know anyone who'd be a bigger flight risk than the government, another government official from a different country. Obviously, they're going to go back to their country, and obviously, they're going to evade justice. And we just let them walk. Just let them walk. I mean, look, where does the boundaries of special ally end? I mean, Jesus Christ. So, and that is, look, there's a couple of things that flow out of that. Number one, the FBI was working on this case, so Kash Patel has some explaining to do. Okay, what in the world's going on? Why did you let him go? Would you have let him go if he was a Polish cyber directorate or the cyber director of Botswana? Or is it just that if you're an Israeli government official, you're allowed to rape American children, and then we send you back home because you're a special ally? What the hell is this? This is insanity. Total and utter insanity. So, secondly, local authorities. Who made the decision? Was it you? Was it the FBI? Who made the decision to let this son of a bitch go? Because we're never getting him back. Okay, now, point number 3. I mean, this is the hopeless one, where we would have an American president not controlled by a foreign government, and that president would be pissed about this, that American children were going to be raped on American soil by the government officials of a different country, and they would demand extradition. And Israel would, of course, since we fund their entire goddamn existence, would sheepishly return their pedophile to us so he can face justice here. Will any of that happen? You all know. Okay, look, for the people who go, okay, I'll get to religion and all Jews, and is it that? It's not that. I'll explain that in a second, okay? But for the people who absurdly claim that Israel has no control over our politicians, okay, you want to make a bet? I mean, you want to go on the record? You want to say, oh, yeah, since Israel is such a moral country, and of course it will serve America because America is giving them $310 billion, and we are your beautiful special ally. They'll try to extradite them right away. No, they won't. You know they won't. We know they won't. Everyone knows they won't. And everyone knows and our government will bow their heads. They'll either never ask for that extradition unless there's an unbelievable uproar. It would have to, and mainstream media will tamp it down and no. It's anti-Semitic. It's anti-Semitic to say that Israeli pedophiles should be brought to justice. Obviously, Israeli pedophiles should be allowed back to Israel where they can live in luxury, because otherwise you're all anti-Semites. By the way, I'm not joking. People in social media already saying that. There's nothing that an Israeli supporter will not call anti-Semitic. So apparently wanting to prosecute pedophiles is now anti-Semitic. Oh my God, you're doing so much more damage and causing so much more anti-Semitism than anyone else by saying ludicrous garbage like that. Anyone from any country, I'm originally from Turkey, immigrated here when I was 8. If there was a Turkish pedophile, would I want him to escape to Turkey? Hell no. Would I want him extradited? I'd be the first one to ask for his extradition. But if you go like, no, it's okay. It's okay. My group should be allowed to do it. Are you insane? What are you doing? That's going to drive up anti-Semitism. All right. So it turns out this is a government official, so we're screwed. I mean, he works for Netanyahu. Netanyahu's going to be like, abuse children. Have you seen what we've done to Gaza? This guy's probably going to get a promotion. Okay. So, Rose Turner, thank you for the super chat. So, look, it turns out that Israel has this law of return, which some of you might have heard of. I've certainly heard of. If you say you're Jewish, you're allowed to go back to Israel. But the problem is, under any circumstance. So, and Jewish Community Watch, a wonderful group here in America, looking out for Jewish Americans, Jews in Israel, and Americans overall. Okay, beautiful group. And what they're doing is they're tracking down these pedophiles. And so why are they doing that? Among other than the fact that they're wonderful and decent and moral, is that they always attack their own community. Okay, so now there's a couple of different examples of it, but there's tons of examples of it. But the ones that we can point out. In fact, Anna wrote an article about this. We're gonna have the link in the description box below. Okay, CBS News did a brilliant story about this in 2020. Jerusalem Post has covered it, etc. Right. So what happens is usually, not all the time, but usually, and this is from Jewish Community Watch, ultra-Orthodox or modern Orthodox communities will protect their own. So a lot like the Catholics. So it has, again, nothing to do with religion. And so, or any particular religion, unfortunately, it does have to do with fundamentalist religion and religious leaders who always protect the guilty, whether they're Catholics, Muslims, ultra-Orthodox Jewish, etc. Right? So, thank you, Rose Turner. Thank you for another super chat. I appreciate it. So those folks, as they're protecting them, they shuffle them out to Israel, and Israel says, "Law of return, come on in." And then, okay, well, then do they go to arrest them, etc., extradite them? No, no. And so what winds up happening? So they normally who they're molesting here in America are other Jewish Americans, like a Jewish 8-year-old boy, a Jewish 5-year-old girl, et cetera, because they're in that community, right? So Jewish Community Watch couldn't be more right. Saying we got to protect our community, we got to protect our kids. They're doing it to our kids, right? Let alone to anyone's kid, right? So then they go over to Israel. Guess what they do in Israel? They molest kids again because they got away with it. Well, it happens almost every time. And they're molesting other Jewish kids in Israel, oftentimes raping them. But it gets even crazier. So there's a guy named, let me find you his exact name because this is trippy. This is part of CBS's report. Jimmy Julius Carrow, okay, or Corral. And he wasn't even Jewish. And then what he did was like, oh, I got caught as a pedophile. He converted to Judaism and they stuck him into Israel. What are you doing? And guess what he did in Israel? Molested Jewish kids inside Israel. They finally got arrested because of Jewish Community Watch. Thank God. Okay. Diogo Hernandez, thank you, brother, for the super chat. Chuck, thanks for being a member, brother. I appreciate it. And Gail Hefner, thank you for sending the 5 memberships on YouTube. Guys, look, this stuff, God bless CBS for doing it, some Israeli outlets for discussing it, etc. But very, very rarely seen in mainstream media. They'll all cover it up. And oh, no, prosecuting pedophiles is anti-Semitic. How could it be anti-Semitic? How is not protecting Jewish American children anti-Semitic or pro-Jewish? Are you crazy? And that's the problem, guys. When it comes to Israel, people lose their minds. Like all rational reason goes out the window. And no, we special ally to protect them. No, don't ever criticize any Israeli. Don't ever do anything to any Israeli. Let the Israelis do anything they want. It doesn't help Israel. It doesn't help their kids. It doesn't help Jewish American kids. It doesn't help any kids. Anyway, this Carol guy goes, yeah, I'm Jewish. Goes back, does that. And it took Jewish Community Watch like so much effort because the Israeli cops won't help them and American authorities won't help them to finally find this son of a bitch and then force the Israeli police to arrest them. And after a long process, finally talking about extradition, right? It took 6 years to extradite a pedophile from Australia that has flown from Australia to Israel to get them back to Australia to face charges on 74 counts of rape and child molestation. Another sick guy in Mexico flees to Israel. Israel protects him, won't extradite him. Are they trying to get the world to hate them? What are you doing? What kind of lunacy is this? Okay, but back to the main guy, the guy who just got arrested in Vegas. If we don't get him back, I mean, there should be hell to pay. And I don't know what hell is these days. And I know our politicians, they don't need us. They just gerrymander the districts. So our votes are irrelevant. They just get money from AIPAC and the Israeli lobby and they gorge on that. And they go, yeah, Israel's a special ally. They're allowed to do anything they want. They want to do sexual tourism in America? Of course. And then the minute we catch them, we give them right back to Israel. And we're never going to get them back. Well, now you know what it feels like to be a Palestinian and to be occupied. All right. The Canadian Beaver, thank you for helping out and becoming a member. I appreciate it. Everybody who's a member, you allow us to stay on air. You allow us to keep saying these things. By the way, we're driving people crazy by saying these things because they can't refute it. Like if it's like a weirdo anti-Semite, like, Jews control everything. I hate the Jews. That's easy. That's a dumbass, right? Like nobody's calling my Jewish friends and be like, hey, would you like to be part of this ring? No, but absurd, right? But Israel is a government, a foreign government. They have special privileges. And anyone who claims they don't and that they're not paying off our politicians is like literally lying to you and probably for a lot of them lying to themselves, right? This AIPAC itself, without any other Israeli lobby or dark money, has donated to 65% of Congress. They're the number one donor for Mike Johnson. They're the number one donor for his lifetime for Joe Biden, for Donald Trump, for Hakeem Jeffries, for Chuck Schumer. So they're the number one donor to all of leadership. But in the ludicrous mainstream media, they say, if you say facts, facts are anti-Semitic and you should be canceled, fired, etc., etc. You should not criticize pedophiles. You should not criticize people doing a genocide. You should let them starve children to death. That's not racist because those are only Muslim children and Christian children. They don't count. They're not Israeli children. They don't count. But I'm not the racist. You're the racist for criticizing Israel, they say. So that's why when you guys sign up, join up, whatever, read our, the Substack post that Anna has, watch our show. By the way, we're going to do a huge thing on this Monday at 6 o'clock Eastern, right? We're going to show you all the data, all the evidence on what happens. And we're going to start of course, we're going to try to start a movement. I mean, God help us to extradite this son of a bitch back and to find out what happened. We will likely fail because the American government is occupied and they work for Israel and they don't work for us. I'd love to be proven wrong. I'd love to be proven wrong that money that's going to an overwhelming majority of our politicians don't affect them. They're outraged by this. They will hold Israel accountable. They'll stop sending money to Israel. We all know, literally everyone, whether you're an Israeli supporter or you hate Israel or you're somewhere in the middle, we all know the American government is not going to do that because it's occupied. Oh, no, you can't say that. No, I can't say it. I just did say it. Brought to you by the Young Turks members. So kiss it, okay? So I don't care what ludicrous lies the mainstream media and the American government want to tell you. That son of a bitch was going to try to rape American children. And we let him go back because, beloved Israel gets whatever they want. And my guess is no one in our government is going to try to get him back because beloved Israel is our special ally. We'll probably send him a check on top. Oh, thank you for trying to rape children while you were here. Here's your check, Israel. Yeah. You stupid Americans. You don't need that money. Give me that money. Give it to me. Give it to Israel, okay? And you can come and do whatever the hell you want. Oh, you had spies here pre 9/11? And we sent them all back just like we did with the bin Ladens. So it's not just Israel. You grease American politicians. After 9/11, the two groups that were allowed to leave the country, no one else was allowed to leave the country, were bin Ladens back to Saudi Arabia and Israeli spies back to Israel. What is this? What kind of ally is this? So you can't refute those facts. So you can make any excuse you like, but this is ludicrous. This is the most un-American thing I have ever seen. And it's not close. Cucked West, whatever. Thank you for the super chat. CK Progressive, thank you for the super chat and the question. I wonder if this Israel knew Jeffrey Epstein. Guys, all right, last thing. And then big report on it on Monday. Anna's preparing it as we speak. So, and we're Monday through Friday at 6 o'clock, right? Live every weekday. So Epstein, I mean, this is comical. If you walked into his house in New York, huge map of Israel, okay? And if you say like, "Oh, but why would he do that?" He also had eyeballs all over the place. Well, how weird and creepy, signifying I'm watching you, okay? He had a young girl hanging on by a rope like this. Like, no, no, the whole house was, this is what we're doing. We're raping young girls and for Israel. Okay, like the guy is over the top. I guess he wanted to rub it on our face. You don't control your own country. I control it. Okay, so do I know for sure that it's Mossad? No. Okay. Is it weird that he had a giant map of Israel in the middle and all of this symbolism in his house? Yes. Is that, if that was the only fact, I'd say, okay, whatever, right? But then wait a minute. The Israeli Prime Minister, Ehud Barak, visited him 30 times. 30 times. And we're supposed to ignore that. His accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, her father, Robert Maxwell, one of the most legendary Israeli spies of all time, stole America's nuclear secrets and gave them to Israel. By the way, then we allowed him to buy uh, book publishing houses in America. You steal our nuclear secrets and we let you buy the textbooks that go into American schools? What kind of special ally is this? Okay. So within that context, you're telling me, oh, no, it couldn't have been Israel. Oh, that's a conspiracy theory. I mean, just because the guy says he's all about Israel, the Israeli prime minister visits him 30 times, and his accomplice's father is the most legendary Israeli spy of all time. No, look away, anti-Semitic. Well, I didn't say anything about Jews. But again, my Jewish friends and family, nobody called them, hey, Mossad would like to run this ring inside America. Nobody does that. It's not about regular Jewish people at all. It's about this deeply evil government that is doing these outrageous things to us. And I have a guess as to why. First, hi, Wade. Thank you for this, being a member, for the super chat, and for acknowledging what we're doing. I appreciate you, brother. But we can't have that courage if you guys don't have that courage, right? So you guys back us up, and we're allowed to say things like this in the new world. That's why, people in power hate us. Because guys, it's easy to refute idiots, but when you come with facts and your facts are correct and irrefutable and your arguments are irrefutable, it makes it really hard to dismiss you as a wacko, as illegitimate, as anti-Semitic, as bigoted, or whatever it is. And it's driving them crazy. So thank you, Young Turks members, for allowing us to drive mainstream media and the corrupt American politicians crazy by being right about this. So on Epstein, I don't know if it's Mossad. I don't know if it's the CIA. I do know it's something that the American government wants to protect. And it could be that it's the leader of both parties. But I've never seen the Republicans not shiv Democrats. I've never seen Democrats not shiv Donald Trump. I've never seen them protect each other ever, let alone this religiously. But our government is definitely protecting whoever organized Epstein. And if you think that Epstein raped 1,000 girls by himself, and you don't believe any of the victims that say, oh no, there was tons and tons of different men that the American government will not prosecute. They refuse to prosecute them. And then they say, no, how dare you suggest that there's something nefarious going on? No, there were no clients. The girls raped themselves. What a ludicrous, insane conspiracy theory. Well, given all the connections, I think, and given the fact that our government is obvious liars and is never going to tell us the truth, whether you have a Republican or a Democrat in office, I think it is super fair to conclude that it was an intelligence agency and very likely Mossad. And now we have a government official from Israel who came to rape children here, and we let him go. So, I mean, you tell me. Oh, that's crazy. Well, they just did it. They just goddamn did it. Okay. William Caldwell, thank you for gifting a membership. Guys, we do this show with you. All right. Monday, 6 o'clock. I'm going to see you guys again. We're going to build on this. It's an outrage, and we should not allow it. And we're going to try to bring as much attention to it as we can. And then everybody can get all mad all they like, and we don't give a goddamn. We stand for justice, and we stand for truth.